toy. And the way they're booking him, you could see he's a shiny new toy, and they're beating it to death. So a lot of
overexposure is a problem.
But I got to tell you something he said, and bro, you don't get it, bro. Like, so there's a lot of people being critical of that. Like, bro, this guy's going to be dead in the water in 3 months. Like, because it's overexposure. It's too much. And he commented on that, and he said, I'm not worried about that. Basically, those people don't know what they're talking about. I've done this for 8 years and have not run out of material. Bro, you did it on 8 years on the indie scene. So you're in Chicago, and then you're in LA, and then you're in New York, and nobody's seeing it on a weekly basis. When you're doing this on a weekly basis on television, bro, every single week, that's a little bit different than you doing it on the indie scene for the last 8 years.
You definitely have a valid point in that, and I could also look at his point of view of going, I've got 8 years of material, and they've only seen 20% of my tricks.
That's true, too.
I've got a lot more cards in the deck to break out. I've been thinking about how I can do this and pimp this out. And also, the other part of that as a businessman, he may be looking around where people are getting 50% pay cuts while he's generating top dollar as a shop guy, and he's going to cash his ticket in now because who cares if it's 3 months from now? Because if it goes 6 to 9, I got to make all the human monies I can right now, dog. You got to strike while the iron's hot. When you got momentum, you play momentum. So from the booker's point of view versus the merchandising and versus TKO squeezing every cent out of this son of a bitch they can as fast as they can, there's a lot of factors at play that go far beyond what is best for the wrestling storyline and the performer and the audience. So the other part of that, too, is as a professional improviser, even though I played Ben Hameen for 18 years straight, I can play 1,000 characters. That's what I'm taught to do. And I know it's Bad News Barrett's job to bury him as a theater kid on there, but I just watched Jericho with, what's his name from Parks and Rec? He's in this new Nick Offerman. And Nick Offerman has been paying huge respect to pro wrestling because he trained for 3 weeks for whatever this new role is of washed up wrestler that he's playing. But in this interview that he does with Jericho, it's around minute 24. They liken improv or wrestling to improvisation and more than acting or anything else, which is what I've been saying, since 2015. And even before that, what I wanted to bring to it. And this is the truth of our performance art, but they still don't train improv on this side. This guy does. Danhausen, he knows it inside and out. So he can evolve, become a different version, radioactive Hausen, whatever he needs to be to create a new toy version of himself, a new character, a new offshoot. I think that's also what he means when he says, I've been doing this for 8 years. I got my character wrapped, bro. I know that I can go Hacker Hameen. I know I can go Hameen. I can, you know what I mean? I'm always able to morph it a little bit with the times of what's going on right now. So I have faith that he can do the same thing.
You know what I wish that they do, Ben? And this was very similar. I go to JCW, okay? And the first thing I'm seeing is, okay, bro, there's a clown tag team and there's a zombie tag team. So now I'm like, why are clowns wrestling and why are zombies wrestling? And I have to try to kind of make sense out of that. So, I told the stories. The clowns were in witness protection, okay? And, I told stories. Here's what I wish they would do. Bro, we see it in every Superman movie. Give us the origins of this character.
Have to.
You know what I'm saying, bro? A lot of people, they're seeing him for the first time. You got to give me origins. Why is this guy like this? Maybe his great-great-grandfather was one of those hosts of, bro, what would like, remember when you'd have Chiller Theater and shit, and you'd have those hosts? You know what I'm talking.
Yeah. From Chicago was,
Yeah.
God damn it.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a Vincent Price type shit.
Yeah, give me the origin.
Sven Gulli, sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking of. Give me the origins of this character. I mean, we see it all the time, bro. When Superman, the very first Superman with Christopher Reeves. We start with Marlon Brando and, the whole 9 yards.
Even if it's crazy. Kane came from Undertaker's mom having an affair with Paul Bearer, right? Some backstory.
Or back, why can't they ever do that, bro?
You know what? I was thinking the same thing, because I worked with this guy in the Indies a couple different shows, maybe 4 or 5 times. In Ethan Page, 20-year vet, overnight success, who's now in the ring on Raw, cutting a better promo because he's got his 10,000 hours taken care of before he ever showed up in NXT, right?
Jump right into it. All the news happening in the U.S. and around the world. There's a host of issues facing.
But where is his intro? Just because you knew him from NXT, he got over an Impact and then went to AEW, and now he's here, but hasn't ever really been introduced. And
I have no idea of anything Ethan Page ever did. Nothing. Yeah. Zero.
And he can carry it, bro, on a level of MJF. He can carry the ball. He's ready to go, but nobody knows anything. Meanwhile, in the news, we've got, can't even think of the clavichord or some bullshit. Some asshole YouTuber kid who is all about ego, and they call it looks maxing or whatever the fuck. He smashed his face with a hammer.
I know exactly. My daughter asked. My daughter actually asked me. My daughter actually asked me if I knew who he was. Yes.
This is all ego Ethan Page. Doesn't the ego play right into what this mainstream thing is? Just take this kid's shit and have him shoot 2 or 3 things where he's doing self-affirmations. You're the greatest man on the earth, on earth, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Jack Handy stuff from, where it's not too comedy, but he believes what it is, right? And he's getting ready in the mirror and tying the perfect knot in his tie and all that stuff in an inner monologue. And he's coming to Raw. 3 weeks of that. Just give me 3 weeks of that. Instead, he comes out, has to have a match. We don't know who it is. They go over. Then he comes back out and cuts a promo. It's a damn good promo, but nothing is set up for someone to get over successfully and have a backstory or anticipation of a debut.
That's hard. That's why I'm always so hard on them. That's part of being a writer, man. That's part of the process, and that's part of what you